members do you have now?
Well, we have over 60,000 members, and I don't know about shaper of politics, Ramesh. It's people like you and many others who have really created that environment. And I think that's what brings the Indian Americans, because now it's cool. When you see Bobby Jindal, when you see others, it's becoming cool to be involved in public policy. And that's where the young ones, maybe your kids and others, are going to say, hey, I want to go back and give back. So I think all we did was just provide maybe a vehicle to do that, but it was really people like you and others who really started talking about it. Because this country, you know, it's a great nation we live in, the greatest in the world, I believe. But we have challenges, and I think government needs to be reformed, and I think you're going to see what people like Vivek, Anish, Sonal, and others do to reform that. Not because they're Indian Americans, but because they are the best and the brightest, and their track record really shows that.
That's right. They are the best and the brightest.
Absolutely.
No doubt about it. Now, how's the economy in India?
India has obviously been impacted, not as much as other economies are, because, you know, domestic demand still drives about 70% of the Indian economy. But, you know, 60% of the IT companies or the BPO companies' revenue is dependent on the U.S., so they have obviously taken a hit. But still, when you go to India, you don't see the gloom and doom that you get used to seeing here.
But you know, the Infosys and Wipro and the others have come out with projections saying it's going to be slow. America is going to be a little restrictive. Is it right for the United States to be a little more protectionist at this time?
You know, again, it depends on what your definition of protectionist is. I think America has a right to ask for fair trade practices. You know, the question is fair trade practices. But what has made this nation great is, you know, the reason why people like you, me, and others came was we attracted the best and the brightest, and we were not fearful of doing business openly with anybody in the world, because we believe at the end of the day we can make the best product or the service and we can come out ahead. So I think the challenge is to make sure that there is a level playing field, and the other aspect is somewhere along the way we have to invest in our education so that our kids really can be the best and the brightest. And you know, we talked about Anish, Vivek, etc. We need all of them, all Americans, to be the best and the brightest, not Indian Americans or Hispanic Americans or African Americans, all Americans.
All Americans. You know, last week I was talking about this, and I said, America has stopped making things. You know, manufacturing is where the middle class develops. That's how the Ford started, and that's how the world started with middle class. But slowly and slowly we have outsourced that. And I feel like they should bring some of it back. You agree?
It depends on bring what back. Is American ingenuity better used at manufacturing maybe solar panels? Is it better used at maybe the high-end things? Because America's place has always been innovation, it's been knowledge, etc. So let's continue that path, because we all know we have an energy problem. We all know we have an environmental problem. We all know we have certain real serious problems. America has to be the beacon to lead us out. Manufacturing is part of the solution, not the solution. Solution is innovation. Solution is creating new industries, new opportunities, because we can't continue the way it is. And I think manufacturing is one big component of that.
So in this age of recession, you think globalization is still the way to go?
Well, globalization with a level playing field for everybody. That means if I'm doing business with you, we have a good understanding that you're going to treat me the way I want to treat you. I do business in America with the company in Iowa, we have a level playing field. And if you don't honor my level playing field, then I tend to sue you or things like that. So countries are just like companies in many ways. So I think we should have a level playing field, understand different countries have different expertise. We will accept that. And I think if we have that, then it is all a global marketplace, because America can't just succeed by itself and have the rest of the world fall apart, because America needs the world market. We are 20+% of the world GDP. So we need the world to flourish for America to flourish too.
You make some very good arguments. Let's change the subject. Let's go to you. You're a business person. You have a company here. You have a company in India. And you go sometimes to work out of India. Tell me a little bit about How do you find the atmosphere there? How's the working environment there?
I think the work environment is great. I mean, now I'm relating it to the people that I work with, and I've talked to others, and they think the work environment is great. It's, again, kind of people you bring on, the kind of vision you give them, the kind of tools you give them. I basically work the night shift and I work the day shift. We go on and on because we have a local market we are tapping into, and then we have the U.S. market we are tapping into. Now, obviously, what keeps me going is the great Indian junk food they keep bringing me, the non-stop cups of adrak and tulsi tea. So that's part of the reason for going to India. But I think, like I said, different places, different expertise that I'm tapping into. I'm tapping the expertise that they have, and then either tapping the market in the U.S. or in India. The borders really don't mean anything. It just really is where can you get the skill sets and where you can get the marketplace.
So you really don't need to be here in America. You can actually run the company right out of India.
Oh, absolutely. Sometimes I'm there for a month and you will not even notice that I'm gone. Except if you have a party, then you might not physically see me, but you'll virtually see me.
You know, one advantage you definitely have when you work out of India, your wife and kids are not there, so you can actually work as much as you want.
I'm not going to touch that one because no matter which perspective I answer, it could go against me.
Yes, your wife will be watching the show, you know.
Absolutely.
It's always a pleasure to get you, but before I let you go, give me a sense of Indian Americans. I mean, you have 60,000 members. Give me their sense as to how are they coping with current situation? What do they like about Obama administration, and what happened in India recently?
Well, I think what they like about Obama is that he's taking a measured approach. And when you look around his cabinet, it is really a reflection of America. And it's, to a large measure, it's really attracted the best and the brightest. No matter, it's not about Anish, Vivek, and others, but you look across, you know, where there's the Secretary of State and others. So I think because he came in when really everything was falling apart. So he's brought some level of calmness because he's got a lot of adults surrounding him. As far as what is happening in India is a great example of democracy. To me, I think that's fantastic when the region is falling apart around it and you have 700 million people just going in there, exercising their right to vote in a peaceful transition with 700 million people, with young people saying, I really need to make a difference. So I see among all this gloom and doom, I see opportunity because two big democracies, two big markets, and I think if you and I can play a small, minute role in maybe being a little bit of a bridge, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank
Good
you.
visits to India.
Thank you.
We'll be right back, folks.